Hi everyone, it's Bridget again. So this time I wanted to talk about coming out. But first, just an update. I went for my first appointment for hormone replacement therapy and I've started on testosterone blocker. So it's spironolactone and it's a little less than a week ago I started. I guess a little over a week until I start estrogen. So not a whole lot to report in such a short period of time. Mostly, same things I go through whenever I start a new medication. So, bit of a buzz behind my eyes, dry nose, a bit of an upset stomach, and hot and cold flashes. So nothing out of the ordinary there. One weird effect, though, that I didn't read about anywhere. My body is really sensitive. I feel like I'm on the edge of orgasm a lot. And then just, brushing my arm is that much more. Normally, that would sound really good. But at work, it's a little bit uncomfortable, to say the least. But I will keep you updated as to any other changes that I'm going through. And I guess on to coming out. So for me, it's been a bit of a ongoing process since last July. I guess I came out to my counselor first, and about a month later, I came out to my sister. We went to a football game together, and I told her on the way there, and she was quite shocked and didn't quite know how to take it, but immediately the next day, I guess after she had a little bit of time to process, she's been just great. Probably my biggest supporter. So I couldn't have asked for anything more. I told you about the next person I came out to was my wife and how that went in a previous video. After that, the next one wasn't really my decision to come out to. My wife left a suicide note, and I really had no interest in reading it myself, but as my father very logically pointed out, there might be important information in there that somebody should know, so he was going to read it just to make sure there was nothing that we needed to know. Unfortunately, that to me meant that he might very well find out about me, and I preferred that he find out from me. So I came out to my father and my stepmother next, and it went well. They're supportive. They're just very confused and unsure how to proceed, and having a really hard time dealing with, it's one thing for me to say that I'm a woman, and fine, that's how I'm gonna live my life over here, away from them, but when I'm actually at their house, it's a little uncomfortable for them, and I get that. It takes time to adjust to it. My dad's first comment was, gee, did I have to pick red hair? Which would make sense if you knew him. He does not get along with any type of redhead at all. So during this period before my own hair grows out and I stop wearing a wig, I made a concession and I got a black wig to wear to his place. It's not the most effective. It very cute. Makes me look kind of like a spy or a flapper girl from the 20s. But unfortunately, I picked up a short style, as you probably guessed from that description. And my own natural hair is actually just a little bit longer. So it hangs out beneath the black wig, which is uncomfortable for me, and so not something I do in public, but something I do at their place for them. I figure anything to smooth it over a little bit without, detransitioning every time I visit my father. Almost immediately after that, I told my mother. I probably would have told her first if given the option, and she's been very supportive. Immediately wanted to know if there's anything she could read or look into. She still goofs up pronouns and names every once in a while, but she's trying, and she almost immediately corrects herself. So I have absolutely no issues with that. And she found a support group to go to, so that's been fantastic. And so those are all the people I told before I actually started living full time. Mostly before I started being myself, Bridget, at all, while I was still in kind of a transition period. Well, transition, yeah. So almost immediately after that, I went away for almost a month for work. And when I came home is when I started living as Bridget. All the time, except at work. So it was shortly after I came back home that I wanted to tell the rest of my friends and family. And so while I had been away, I had written out kind of a letter to them. And I was trying to figure out the best way to, let them all know. Between my family and friends, it was going to be 30 or 40 odd people. I mean, not a lot, but it was, well, do I call everyone personally? Or, I don't have everyone's email address. I don't have everyone's phone number. How am I going to do this? So, well, I'm friends with almost all of them on Facebook. Fortunately, there are a couple of work-related people who are also on my Facebook, so it's not like I could just post it. So I sent a private message to this group of people and actually reconnected with a few friends who weren't on Facebook and added them to the conversation in the letter. And, just basically explained to them who I was, what being transgender was, how much pain I had been in through most of my life. I tried to explain how this all related to my wife's suicide, because I was sure that was going to be one of the first questions on anybody's mind. Whether or not they'd ask it is another matter, but thought I just wanted to get that out of the way. And, I expected that most of my family would be in some way supportive. I thought, my friends maybe 50-50 would be the ones I'd lose. I didn't really expect anyone to say anything negative, but as it turned out, one person that I included in it did not respond and dropped out of the conversation. That's, fine. Everyone else, well, one other person who hasn't responded yet, I don't know if hasn't been on Facebook. Everyone else got back to me within the next day and a half with these wonderful words of encouragement. My family were all overjoyed, so supportive. Everyone told me how brave and strong I was, and it hasn't stopped. they're constantly affirming that this is the right choice, that they just want me to be happy, and that's amazing. And not just in a, well, glad you're happy, keep it over there. It's been, please come to my house and stay with me. I can't wait to get to know you as the real you. So it's been fantastic and overwhelming. I have a cousin who I'm actually going to see in a couple of weeks, and she's going to show me more how to do makeup, which is fantastic, and just hang out and talk. So that has been great, and I've made so many new friends just as Bridget, just being out and about in the world. So many people respond to me positively, and I know so much of that is just because I'm happier and more open to people now that they respond to that, and that's fantastic. So work is also a progress. I've come out to 3 people at work, maybe a 4th when I was in Toronto and I got sick and somebody came to my room because I needed an ambulance ride to the hospital, and I wasn't entirely discreet in making sure all my feminine clothing and my wig were put away. I wasn't expecting to have to go to the hospital and have a coworker come into my room. So I don't know, he hasn't said anything. But whatever, in a short period of time, hopefully a really short period of time, I'll be out to everybody at work and then it won't be an issue. But I came out to Human Resources. We have 2 people in our Human Resources department, and they have both been fantastic. Their response was, any support we can give, this is your story and your journey, and you tell us when you're ready to do what you're ready to do. So it's exactly what I needed from them. And so we'll see when the time comes. I also came out to a friend at work, and she has been so happy for me, which is fantastic. Just makes me know that eventually when I come out, it'll be good. My plan is 3 months from now, 3 months from when I started hormones, I was going to come out to my supervisors, depending on my progress on hormones, and another 3 to 6 months after that, depending on my further progress, I would come out to everybody. Part of me really resents the time that I don't spend as Bridget, and I would love to just come out now, but my plan is I want to be taken seriously. I don't want people to look at me and say, well, that's just a guy wearing a wig in drag. Notice my voice there. It's still a little rough from the cold. So, yeah, I want to be somewhere further along, and it'll just make me more comfortable for me to think that they'll take me more seriously. So, I have a plan. I'm going to try and stick to it. I guess my coming out, I should wrap it up fairly quickly here, as I'm getting a little long, but my coming out story wouldn't be complete without telling you that I'm doing the Calgary Coming Out monologues at the end of March, which scares me so bad that I might pee myself. I'm sure I'll do fine. I usually do pretty good at public speaking type stuff that I've had to do for classes and work and whatnot, but it still scares the heck out of me. And so I'm working on my piece, and I've got a rehearsal in a week, and I've done a couple of workshops on it, and it just kind of feels right. I fell into it, and I actually did a video audition, and maybe I'll show you guys that video sometime. It's pretty rough, and obviously I needed a lot of work. A lot of what I just told you. What I'm going to present is a little more story-based. Still all the facts, but, a little more for a performance, which a lot of people are doing. There's a lot of singing and dancing and whatnot, and mine is just going to kind of be a spoken piece, but trying to make it a little more interesting, I guess. Not unfactual, just, you know. So yeah, that's frightening, but at the same time, it's kind of like what I'm doing here. Just I want to help people the way that I've been helped, and so tell my story, and you know, eventually maybe it'll turn into more than that. But I should go for now, and hopefully I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye for now.